You never know how much you're going to miss something till you don't have it. What's up, everybody? So today we're going to have to replace a toilet. The toilet in my master bathroom, it is probably older than me, and it finally gave out, so I needed to change it out. I decided to get with a little bit better model. I'm going to show you how I do it. Now just remember, I am not a plumber, handyman, anything like that, so I'm bound to make some mistakes. If I do, please place them in the comments, let me know. With that, I hope you enjoy this video and it helps you out in case you've never done this and you need to know how to do it. So stay tuned. So this toilet has outlived its usefulness. It's about as old as I am. It's real low to the ground. I'm always doing little repairs to it, trying to fix it, limp it along, but I'm done. We're going to take this out, put a new one in. So let's get to it. First thing you should always do with these repairs is to turn off the water. So I've already turned it off. It's turned off tight. This is the water line supplying water to the toilet. So I'm going to use a wrench and get this off, and then there underneath here there's a little connector. I'll unscrew that as well. Alright, so first thing I did before I disconnected anything, made sure I flushed and got all the water out. Put down some towels. There's still going to be some water dripping out. I have a tile floor. You could put a pan if you have a pan or whatever catching water. And I undid the this right here. So now we're going to just disconnect it from up here as well. We're going to disconnect this out, and this will go into a trash because we're going to go with a flexible hose. Alright, that's now off. Now it's time to undo this part right here from this part, and there's some bolts under here. So what we'll do is we'll disconnect these bolts and separate them out. So it's hard to see under here, but I've got a 9/16 wrench, and I'm just undoing this right now. Now that the screws are out of this, I can lift this up. I'm going to put it into a black trash bag just for the purposes of this is at one end of my house. I got to take it all the way through the other end of the house. I don't want to get, toilet water all over my house. This is just to move it. Please remember to contact local authorities to find out how they wish for you to properly dispose of this toilet. And that's what it looks like when it's taken off. So I'm going to remove this. It's now all sealed up. I'll remove this. Got a little spillage on the floor. I'll clean that up. And then we'll take out the next part of the toilet. We just need to take the covers off and get to these posts here that seated the toilet down to the floor. This right here is just a 7/16 bolt. There's different ones. Nothing is ever standard. So I'm just undoing these. Now just like the other, I'm going to pull this up, and then I'm going to put it into a black trash bag to take it out. Again, go with local authorities and find out exactly how they wish for you to dispose of the toilet. Don't just throw it in the trash. Alrighty, so you can see where there's a caulking ring where they caulked around it, and then there's also this wax ring here, and that's where you need something like a putty knife to kind of scrape all this up. Now there's a piece of rubber here that will pop out You see it popping out here? So all you gotta do is run your I got a piece of grout out of the way there, but you can see it just pops right out. Putty knife makes this super easy. Alright, so like that. And then these nuts here, they just unscrew. So, and then they come out of the flange right here. Okay. Notice, as careful as I tried to be, it's still got a ton of water and it makes a mess. Even in a plastic bag, it's a mess. So I'm gonna clean this up, get all cleaned up, and I'll be right back. Alright, so this right here is a Project Source model number 2743134. It is a chair height toilet. It has a double flushing feature, and so you got I'll show you that. It's kind of a unique system. So we're going to go ahead and put this in. Now, these are the instructions that come with this, and with Lowe's products, and this is a Lowe's product that they sell, these instructions are absolute crap. If you do not understand the basics of plumbing, you're going to have problems. So I'm going to try to walk you through this, but like, look at number 10 here. This is that dual flush system. Tells you what the parts are. Says there's a lock nut, and there's a push, and there's a valve, but they don't, all they do is tell you to install it. How? Yeah, I mean, really, that is just absolutely wonderful. Now, luckily, I've already got another toilet in my other bathroom, and I've installed it, and so I know what to do. But if you don't, these instructions really suck. As we take parts out, we're actually going kind of backwards a little bit. But this right here is your wax ring kit and your floor hardware. I recommend not using it. I've talked to multiple plumbers and people in construction. They say not to use this because this is inadequate for a toilet this big. Instead, get a jumbo reinforced wax ring set. Alright? So that's what we're using. The other thing they say to use is breakaway bolts. Now, breakaway bolts come in different sizes. This is actually bigger than what my toilet uses as far as diameter wise of screw or bolt. So I'm going to show you, they really don't break away. I'll show you a clip on that in just a second, but definitely get some of these because you're going to need it with that extra wax ring. You're going to need something a little bit longer than what comes with the toilet. This is the back of the toilet. We're not going to be using it right now. I've got on some foam so it's not scratched up, and we're just going to keep digging out of the box until we get the base of the toilet. Got to the base of the toilet and also got toilet seats. I'm going to put toilet seat a separate area for right now, and then I'm going to take toilet out. I'll show you that being installed. Alrighty, so these toilet screws here, they're uniquely designed. In fact, a lot of kayakers use these for rail systems because of the design. So if you're into kayaking, that's a neat little hack there to use. But what we're going to do is slide these in. What you do is you just slide them in like this, turn them, and then come around. They're kind of locked in, so it isn't that bad. Now, I'm not a plumber, but these right here are supposed to be retainer washers to hold the bolt to the flange. I'm not going to do that because really and truly I've got another purpose for this I'm going to use them for. These will stay in the flange. I'm not worried about that. I'm going to line up my holes with this and then we'll set up the wax ring and I'll show you the next steps. Got this set on a towel. If I seem out of breath or not with it, it's because not only is this heavy, but I'm also dealing with a shoulder injury. Doctor thinks I have a torn rotator cuff. So I'm doing this with possibly a torn rotator cuff right now, and I'm in immense pain. But with this set up, let's install the wax ring. Okay, I'm going to actually put these plastic retainer clips on here because these are falling down, and the other kit has some too, so that'll be fine. With these wax ring little cake things, you just pull right here at the hole and pull it out. You'll notice here that this got a kind of a flanged opening here. You set this here like that, and then press down. Alright, and I'm going to move that right there. I'm just pressing down good. Alright, this will go into the toilet and make a good seal. So now what we're going to do is flip this over. See how it is? We're going to flip it over, and the bolts come out of these sides here, and then we'll bolt it down. I'll show you that after I get flipped over. You gotta be very careful with this, stay nice and level. Alright, and then you press it down after you made sure it's nice and straight, level, everything is like it ought to be. Alright, now we're going to put on the washers and the nuts. This is the reason why I didn't want to put the spacers on before. I forgot the other kit would have one too. I wanted to make sure that there's some type of protection from the metal washer that I'm going to use and the nut on the porcelain. So you can see the post down here. So I'm going to put the little holding spacer thing on there as a little makeshift protector. It's just a little extra protection. Never seen anybody do this, but it seems like it would only help, not hurt. Now washers go on. Alright, so now that the nuts are on there, got a 1/2 inch wrench. I'm going to tighten them down just a little bit on both sides until they're snug, and then I'll tighten them down fine for one final tightening. Don't want to tighten too much, but you do want it to be tight because you do not want to break that wax seal. Now inevitably what's going to happen is your bolt's going to start spinning, so that's the reason why you take one hand and hold the top of the bolt, and then you use your wrench to tighten it down. I can't do that because quarters are tight here, can't film at least, but that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to take my wrench and I'm going to hold on as tight as I can while I'm screwing this in. And right along here is where I wish I had either Harbor Freight or some cheap Chinese company that made tools sponsoring this video that had one of those ratchet wrenches, because that would be real nice right about now. These are supposed to be just breakaway bolts that you can snap them off. I have not been able to snap them off, so I'm going to show you what happened in a previous install, and I'm going to show you what I did. Okay, so we're in the middle of doing some remodeling due to storm damage, and what I'm going to do is we got a new toilet and I've got breakaway bolts in here, and so I'm going to snap them off. They're supposed to come off real easy with pliers. We're going to see if that works. Here we go. Put the thing on there. That is not wanting to break. Still there. So what I'm going to do, I got a pair of wire cutters right here. And I'll cut right there with it. Perforate it a little bit better. See if that will help. God, honey. That is not working. Score this a little bit better. Not working. So in these cases, what you will do is first be safe and protect your investment. So put a piece of cardboard behind the bolt. Then get you a Dremel, hacksaw, bolt cutter, whatever, to trim. Now you want to make sure to let it cool every once in a while. You don't want it to crack your porcelain. That's the problem with this. It can get very hot very quickly. Once you start making headway, see if it will snap. If it won't, and keep working on it. This is not going to snap. So we're going to keep working on this, but I'm going to let it kind of cool down a little bit. I don't want to get too hot and snap my porcelain. At over just halfway, I just tested it with the pliers. It still doesn't want to give way. And that's one of the problems with these breakaway bolts, that a lot of people have problems with them not working as advertised. Now I say that we're about 3/4 of the way through, and this will come off now, like that. So just enough to get you off of it and you're good to go. Now we'll clean this mess up and put our cap on, but if you run into a problem with breakaway bolt, just realize they don't snap off always as advertised. Admittedly, I used a different tool this time. I used an oscillating saw. Still worked. But I made sure to use some cardboard to protect the toilet. This is one of those weird ones. I don't know why they don't come this way already, but you see it has a nut that's already screwed down good and tight. Everything's good on the inside. So what I'm doing is I'm just putting this seal around it. I don't know why they don't do that at the factory, but they don't. And you gotta put this on there. Now I'll take these little these little screw nuts off, and we'll set this down on the toilet. And so this is where your fresh water is going to go in. So I'll be right back. Alright, it's set on there. Now time to put these on there. You can see it's already screwed in from the bottom. They did that at the factory for us. So put these on. Now as you're screwing those in, remember that it's going to be backwards. So instead of lefty-loosey, righty-tighty, it's going to be lefty-tighty, righty-loosey. So you got to turn to the left to tighten them up. I don't know why they do them this way, but they do. So you got to turn them going left. One thing you can do is just kind of grab this and pull a little bit to you to tighten it up, just in case there's a little slack. Hand tighten as much as you can. If you need to use a pair of pliers, you can, but do it very carefully because it's plastic. Okay, so this right here is a toilet connector, And so this is from a very popular company here in America called Craft. It's 20 inches. Alright, the fill valve to the toilet's a 7/8 inch, which is pretty standard. And the other is to the valve is a 3/8 inch, which is fairly standard, although they make different sizes of these, so be very careful and make sure you know what size you're dealing with. I do want to say this does not come with the toilet, so you've got to buy this extra, so just be aware of that. Alright, with a bad shoulder it's hard to get the right angle, but I'm going to get in here and connect this up and screw it on. Like the others, this goes on, you screw it counterclockwise to tighten it. I don't know why they do it that way, but they do. I wish that they wouldn't. We'll tighten this up. This just has to be hand tightened. You can use a wrench if you need to, but no need for any type of thread lock or anything of that nature. This has a fitting that allows you just to hook it in, which makes it nice. And that right there should not leak. I'm going to tighten it up just a little bit more. Gotta be careful though, it's plastic. Everything on these things nowadays is plastic. Alright, now we're going to put this on here. And for this, adjustable wrench is really nice to have. There you go, it's all in there now. Now we're ready for the lid. You'll notice the lid has 2 plungers. That's for the dual flush. Also, I wanted to bring up something. They make a very important point to note that you are not to use any type of bleach tablets or drop-in tablets of any type in toilet bowls, and that's for every toilet bowl. You can actually do damage to your seals, to your ring, everything else. There is not one thing that you can put in that toilet bowl reservoir or that toilet reservoir that will actually clean your toilet bowl and keep it clean. Once you start adding bleach and all these other chemicals and everything, all you're doing is shortening the life of your toilet. If you'll notice that there's a gray and a blue section, and then there's a gray and blue section here, so that lets you know which one is supposed to go to which. I'm going to go ahead and place this lid on there. There's a little plastic cover that comes off. This right here is a little smaller than this, so this is for minimum flushing. So number 1. This is for maximum water flow, number 2. So just so you know the difference in the two, this is 1.1 gallons per flush, this is 1.6 gallons per flush. Now let's put on the toilet seat. Alright, I got my supplies on my toilet here. Got my toilet seat, and under the heading of things I wish they had done at the factory, you got these stupid little inserts you gotta put. I don't know why they make you put them in yourself. They should already come with them installed, but they don't. Guess it saves them 50 cents. But anyway, you gotta put these little protectors in there. With those on there, you just lay them over the hole. Very simple. Then you put these little inserts in. Put these in here. Again, I don't know what it does, but they say to do it, so I'm doing it. I haven't seen it do anything positive. Now we drop in our screws. And these don't have anything like inside of it to hold that, so I don't know what the whole purpose of that is, but they got some reason for it, I guess. Now we'll come around, these right here, this will just start screwing in. and you want to have the rounded side going up so they can fit into the hole. Again, it's going to be counterclockwise, do that. Now I've got a big straight slot, huge one, and I'm going to put in here and turn while I hold that nut to lock it into place. With that, you just put these on here, they snap into place. And then you put the caps on there. Now I will state that because I did not use their system, the caps I got will not fit on there like it ought to, but I'm going to put them on there. They're just sitting on top. They're not actually capped in like they should. You can always buy little caps that will fit on there. If you use the regular screws or the bolts that they have for the flange, they're not long enough, and that's the reason why I didn't use them. There they are. Now the next thing to do is turn on the water. These fill up. There are some plastic pieces you need to peel off the toilet seat. As soon as the reservoir hits, we'll test it out. No leak so far. Number one. Everything is holding. No leaks. Doing good. Alright, now let's try number two. Okay. No leaks, anything of that nature. Hope you find this video to be helpful. Just remember, I'm not a plumber, I'm not a handyman, I'm not licensed, certified in any of this stuff. I'm just showing you how I do. Just to give you some insights, help you out any way I can. If you see me do something wrong, please let me know. I'd love to hear you. See what you say. If I've been of help, give it a like, comment, let me know. This isn't a handyman channel or a fix-it channel, but just a life channel. This is my life, and this is what I do, you know, day to day. Home repairs. Everybody's got to do them. So with that, I just want to say thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.